Howdy, it's me, Boo, back with another review, and this one I'm just sticking to one particular house and talking about a couple of the fragrances that I have of his. And, excuse me, like I said, I got a cold or allergies or something coming down the pike here, and I may have to knock off videos for a while till I get over it, but until then, I'll just keep going. So this is I was going to talk about Neil Morris, a couple of fragrances of his that I have. And this first one that I have is called Afire. I don't know if you can see that. Light's kind of weird here this time of day. Anyway, this one, yeah, I'm not crazy about the top notes on this. It reminds me a lot of cheap spiced wine. So it's like if you took I don't know, a lot of you won't have any idea what I'm talking about, but it was this cheap wine called Mogan David. And it was a heavy Concord grape kind of a wine. But to me, it didn't really taste or smell anything like grapes. I mean, they were heavily fermented. And anyway, that's kind of what it reminds me of. If you'd have spiced some Mogan David wine, that's what it smells like. You know, added a little pumpkin spice in there, maybe some allspice, you know. But the dry down. The dry down is a whole different cup of tea. Glass of wine. This, I think, is very much another holiday in a bottle kind of a fragrance, with the spiced wine and some desserts baking in the kitchen again, and those spices are wafting into your face as you're sipping on some warm wine. That's what this reminds me of, is if you heated up that wine. And you know how, have you ever been around warm wine and it'll burn your eyes a little bit? Well, this does that to me in the first few seconds of it. But, and it's kind of, I want to say tinny at first because of that cheap wine smell. It's kind of almost metallic tinny or something, and I'm not crazy about it at the beginning, but then when it dries down, it does warm up, the spices come out, that wine smell, cheap wine smell, kind of goes in the background, and it just gets richer. And I'll tell you what's in it here. Doesn't say when it was launched. How interesting. Top note is citruses, and that's probably where I get that real blast of tang. Middle notes are red berries, and that too, and caramel. Base notes are woodsy notes, incense, and vanilla. And some say it smells like angel. What? But no. No. Whoever put that in there needs to be snorting on some coffee beans and sniff it again, because I don't get that at all. And they also say that it's very long lasting and has enormous sillage. I don't know. It's pretty enormous in the beginning, but it does pull close to the body after a couple hours, in my opinion. It lasts pretty good. I wouldn't say very long lasting. I would say long lasting. Probably like 8 hours. 6 to 8 would be a safe estimate. And the sillage projects a good probably 2 to 3 hours. But like I said, during that 2 to 3 hours, it's getting closer and closer. And by hour 4, you know, it's my scent cloud is pretty close to my body. Not skin scent close, but you know, it's not very far either. So anyway, that is Neil Morris, and it's considered an Oriental vanilla. Well, when it dries down, the vanilla does come out. I think that's what makes it warm up and become a little richer in my nose. And the woodsy notes also do come out a little bit. The caramel is there throughout the whole thing. it is really nice once it dries down. It's really nice. I'm just not crazy about that hot spiced Mogan David wine smell at the first half an hour to an hour. But after that, it is really lovely. So that's Afire by Neil Morris. The other one I have of his, though, I do really like. I like more, so I'm going to check out more of Neil Morris's fragrances because they're interesting to me, and I always like interesting and a little different. And this one is called October. So, oh, this one. Okay. I just had a picture flash in my head, and this, it's, for me, is the perfect analogy of what October smells like. I think it's like if Grandma ran a head shop. That's what it smells like to me. Because, you know, if just your little old lady grandma inherited a head shop all of a sudden, but she was really big into baking apple and pumpkin pies, wouldn't she combine them? Wouldn't she be like, yes, honey, the bong over there is $45, the pipes here are $25, and the apple pie is $15. I mean, really, wouldn't it be like that? Well, that's the way this smells. It smells like incense and head shop, and then it smells like Grandma baking in the background with like some apple pie and some pumpkin pie. And so it reminds me of Granny running a head shop at Christmas. Bang! There it is. That's what I picture. I know. It's like I've got in my head, I've fallen down the rabbit hole because I just never know what kind of weird picture is going to pop in my head when I smell some of these fragrances. Oh, yeah, that's what it reminds me of, so I can't get that out of my head now. So let me tell you what's in it. And this is October. The smell of fresh air, apple, pumpkin, and burning wood. October begins with notes of apple and leaves. Middle notes include bitter orange, pumpkin, and pine, and carnation. The base is warm and rich with incense, cinnamon, patchouli, myrrh, and vanilla. So that is exactly why I picture that. I mean, and people say it's long-lasting and heavy. And I don't think it's any more long-lasting than the Afire, is. And it actually, the first hour or so, the projection is even more than Afire. It's kind of beastly. But it pulls in pretty close to the body, about the same rate as Afire does. So their sillage, projection, longevity, it's all about even Steven. And it's pretty good. And these aren't real expensive either. I mean, you know, they're not cheapies, but, you know, they're pretty easy to get. I got them on the Neil Morris website is where I got these a while back. So, but I got them springtime. And so just didn't really want to wear them until this time of year. Ha ha! The cool weather. So anyway, and nobody says it smells similar to anything. So anyway, that was Neil Morris, and I'm Boo, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.